Hello everybody, this is John Ohms. I'm out here in Wheatfield, Indiana today at a large corn and soybean farm, and I'm with FarmView drones, and today we're going to talk about how to put together the Vertigo 1 drone. So when you get your Vertigo 1 home and you open it up and see all your components nicely placed in the box here, the first thing we're going to take out is all 4 of the rotors. 2 of the detachable arms with the motor and the rotor are red, that go on the front of the drone, and the other 2 rotors are black, which go on the back of the drone. Next, you'll take out the complete body of the drone, complete with the camera and a gimbal on it, and then also the landing gear, which is retractable. Next, you'll have your controller to manually control your drone. That also comes with a monitor, so you'll have a first-person view of what the drone is actually seeing. It comes with your data link that transfers the data from the controller to the drone itself and to your tablet, so you can pre-program all your flights. It comes with your battery for the drone. It's a lithium rechargeable battery, just like what your cell phone would have. It comes with a charger to recharge that battery. And the last thing we have is the battery that powers the data link. After you have everything out of the box, you'll take the body of the drone with the gimbal and the camera on it, and we're going to attach all 4 of the rotors. 2 of the rotors are red and 2 of the rotors are black. The red rotors go in the front of the drone, and when you get your drone, there will be a mark on each rotor, and you'll want to match that up to the mark on the drone. It's very important that the correct rotor is in the correct spot on the drone because of the way that the propeller turns. We have to make sure they're all turning the correct direction for the drone to work properly. So you'll put the drone in its correct spot, matching up the marks, and then there's 2 screws on the top here that you'll tighten down to attach the rotor to the drone. And then you'll want to work counterclockwise, matching up all of the rotors with their markings on the drone, tightening the screw on each one as you go. Having all these rotors being detachable is a nice feature, so that if you do crash the drone or something breaks, each one of these is a separate serviceable part and you're not replacing the complete drone. The next thing we want to do is start turning on all of your components. The first thing you're going to do is turn on the remote controller for the drone. Next, we want to turn on the video screen that's attached to the controller. Thirdly, we'll plug the battery on the drone in and get the drone started. And then you want to turn on the camera on the drone. Lastly, we'll hook up the data link that transfers the information from the drone to your tablet. All right, so now we're outside and we're ready to actually fly the drone. So when you're looking to fly the drone, you want to make sure you have a spot that's away from any airplanes, any power lines, any kind of tall buildings, any high trees, and make sure you're out in an open area. You'll want to take the drone and set it about 20 feet away from where you're going to be standing. And wherever you plug the battery in at is where the home site is established. So you want to make sure you're away from everything that you're doing when you plug the battery in, and that'll establish its home. So we plug in the battery, make sure that all the cords are put away inside of the drone. The next thing you want to do is look at your monitor. First, we want to make sure we have enough satellites available so that we can safely operate the drone in autonomous mode, and so that we have a good connection. We have to make sure that we have 7 or more satellites connected before we start to fly. Your monitor will also show you the battery life. We need to make sure that the battery is 16.5 or above. Right now we're showing 16.7, so we know our battery's fully charged and ready to go. Your monitor will also show you the distance you are away from you and also the height you are above the ground. We also show here that we're in GPS mode with currently now 10 satellites, so we should be all set up and ready to fly the drone. When you get ready to actually start and fly the drone, you want to make sure that the drone is facing away from you and that you're 20 feet back behind the drone before you actually start up the rotors and put the drone into flight. So we've got our controller on. The next thing we need to do is make sure that this switch up here in the right corner is all the way up in our GPS mode. We also have an altitude setting, and then all the way down is a return to home setting. But for when we start the drone off, we want to make sure that it's all the way up in the GPS mode. The next thing we want to do is actually start the motors on the drones. So to do that, we're going to go down with both of our joysticks and then move them out to a 45-degree angle. If we don't start to fly the drone within 3 seconds, the motors will automatically shut off for safety. So as I demonstrate, you're going to go down and out, and the motors will start, and if nothing is done, after a couple seconds, they'll turn off. Next, we want to make sure that all the motors are on correct and just test the drone. So you want to give it a little bit of power with the left joystick and then push it forward. You'll see it tilt forward. You push back a little bit and see it tilt back, and then do right and left as well to make sure that all the rotors are working correctly. Now we want to push all the way up on the joystick to make the drone hover, and you want to make sure you go all the way up so it has enough power to get off the ground. So when you are in manual mode, the red is forward, so when you push the right joystick forward, the drone is going to go away from you. And since we're in GPS mode, when I lay off of the control, it's going to hover in one spot. Back, the black part of the drone is back, so if I move the joystick directly back, the drone is going to come back to me. When you have red facing away from you, if you move the joystick to the right, your drone will go to the right, and then when you move it to the left, your drone will move back to the left. Anytime you take your hands off of the drone, it's going to be controlled in GPS mode and will hover by itself in one spot. So when you're flying your drone and you get your drone out a little ways and get it away from you, the controller has a return to home feature. So currently we have it all the way up in GPS, what we started in. If you take this button and flip it all the way down in return to home mode, the drone will come back to you above 50 feet and will land in the spot where you plugged in the battery. That's why it's very important to make sure that where we plug in the battery is in a spot that's open and clear and away from everything, so that when we do hit that return to home button, the drone comes back to a safe area. So I'm not doing anything with the controller right now, and this drone is going to hover above us, and it's using the GPS to find the exact spot that we started it at, and once it locates that spot, it'll slowly come down and land in that exact same spot where it started. So the drone's up there right now searching, trying to find the exact coordinates of where we started it. And then as you watch it, the drone will slowly make its way down to the ground, locating that exact same spot. And again, I'm not doing anything with the controller. It's all plugged into the system. So it's going to come down and hover a few feet above the ground and make sure it's a good flat spot to land on. So we can also use the tablet to control the drone in autonomous mode. So in order to do that, we've got to set up our data link. So to set up the data link, you want to take the data link in the battery and plug the battery into the data link. And it doesn't matter if the data link is very close to the drone, but this is the wireless cord to talk to the tablet. And we do want to make sure that the wireless controller is as far away from the data link as possible so that we can get a good connection and good range to our tablet. So now we're going to explain how to use the autonomous control on your tablet. So the first thing you're going to do is open up the application on the tablet, and when you first open it up, the application will start scanning for the data link. So now we're going to demonstrate how to use the tap and go feature. So first you're going to select the single waypoint on top of the screen, and then you'll click a point on your Google Maps. Next you'll be able to click in the height button and select what height you want the Vertigo to go up to, and also the speed that you want your Vertigo to fly at. Then you can use your finger to drag the waypoint where you want it to be on the map and change the height and speed setting if you need to. Once you've set your height and your speed, you can hit the go button, and your Vertigo will now take off and fly the course all the way to the point that you set. And after it goes to that point at the height and speed that you set, it'll hover there and then come back to your home base. Next, we're going to explain the multi-waypoint feature. You'll click the icon up on the top of the screen with multiple waypoints. First, you'll click in one spot on the screen, and then click a second spot on the screen. At these separate waypoints, you can set your height and speed and latitude and longitude as well. And there's also a feature where you can select all of the waypoints at once, setting your same height and speed. When you have all your information entered into the computer, you hit the go button, and again the Vertigo will fly the route that you pre-selected. So the computer software also has a feature designed into it where you can use preset flight patterns to go out and fly your Vertigo. There's a circle, a square, different shapes you can use and set up on your map with predetermined waypoints that you can put out there and use to fly your Vertigo. You can do up to 16 different waypoints when using this, and you can set your height and speed and latitude and longitude on each one of these points individually or together as a group. After you set your flight pattern, either using a preset flight design or your multiple waypoints, you hit go, the drone will automatically start its motors and go out and fly the mission that you told it to fly. After it completes that mission, you can either use the tablet or your controls to make the drone return back home to you, either automatically or flying it manually by yourself. So when you move the drone to a new location, you want to make sure that you calibrate it first and calibrate the compass so that it gets used to the area that you're in. So in order to do that, you take the switch on the upper right-hand side and you want to move it back and forth 5 times very quickly. 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next thing you want to do is take your drone and hold it by the back, and you want to move counterclockwise in a 360-degree circle around where your drone's located. The next thing you want to do is take the drone and put it on its face and do the same 360-degree rotation to orient the compass on the drone. Thanks everyone for watching our video and for using the Vertigo 1. Thank you on behalf of FarmView Drones and TopGan Drones. Hopefully we had some helpful information in this video to show you how to use your drone and fly it safely for many years to come.